Well, it was a day that changed America forever. On September 11th, 2001, the skies over New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania were crisp and clear until black smoke and ash pierced the sky, shrouding the lives of thousands with irrevocable pain and loss. Almost 24 years later, some of the surviving victims, as well as the families of the nearly 3,000 people who lost their lives that day, continue their quest for accountability. That quest culminating in a lawsuit against the Saudi government, with critical evidence now coming to light. That evidence includes this chilling video of a Saudi national casing the U.S. Capitol back in 1999. The recording was given to the FBI in the weeks after the terror attacks, but 60 Minutes is reporting that it was never shared with field agents or top intelligence officials. Today, 9/11 families gathered outside the FBI headquarters in D.C. to protest and call on the Saudi government to extradite this man to the U.S., Omar al-Bayoumi, to face prosecution.
As I stand here, a few blocks from the United States Capitol, 25 years ago, we now know definitively that a Saudi Arabian government agent, an intelligence asset of Saudi Arabia, was casing the United States Capitol and preparing for it to be destroyed. One man, Omar al-Bayoumi, stood in this city 24 years ago and is preparing his attack on the legislative branch of our government. Were it not for the heroes in our community that took down that flight, 535 members of Congress would be dead.
And we welcome now Brett Eagleson, the man you just heard from, and the president of 9/11 Justice, a group for family members of victims of the attack. Brett, it's wonderful to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So your father acted heroically when those buildings went down. He fought, died, saving others in that attack on 9/11. You've said on this network, in essence, I've told my sob story. I'm not going to rest until justice has been served. And we have a clip we'd love to play.
It's called Operation Encore, and they're documents that implicate the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So we want those, and we're not going away, and we're not going anywhere, and we demand them, and we demand justice and closure.
So documents were declassified by President Biden. Your group, 9/11 Justice, released a statement that said that those documents revealed that at least 13 Saudi government officials, including one working for the Saudi intelligence agency, supported the hijackers. A lawsuit against the nation is before a judge in Manhattan now. What are the next steps in this case?
Well, I'll take it even one step further. The documents that we received under the Biden executive order weren't even the documents that we're talking about today. NewsNation is the first one that I'm aware of that's really focused on this and in broadcasting this. The fact that we now have documents received from the British government. So that's a head scratcher, right? Here we are, 3,000 American families pleading with our own government, pleading with the FBI, administration after administration. We've been denied, and it wasn't for the heroes in the British government. It wasn't for the heroes of these former FBI agents who have come forward. They're the ones that said, look, we have video evidence of Saudi intelligence assets, Saudi intelligence agents planning the attack on the United States Capitol. So all this evidence has come to light. It's been produced through discovery in our lawsuit against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The kingdom has tried to have this case dismissed 2 times now. The first time they were denied. The second time they tried in oral arguments in July 31st of 2024, they tried again to have this case dismissed, which is where we aired all this evidence. We aired evidence of an algorithm of Saudi intelligence asset Omar al-Bayoumi that had in his possession of how to hit a target on the horizon. We aired the Al-Qaeda welcome party video, where you have Saudi government officials in attendance at a party welcoming the hijackers. All of this evidence indicates foreknowledge of the plan. They knew of the plane. They knew that the Capitol was the destination for that final plane that was taken down in that field. And we are here today in Washington, and we stood outside of FBI headquarters demanding accountability. That's the least that our government can give us. 9/11 changed all of our lives. Every single person alive today is living in a different country today than they were on 9/10/2001. The very least our government can do is bring this man, Omar al-Bayoumi, to justice. Let him stand criminal trial. He's never been asked any questions. And as I said earlier today, my dad would have done anything to be with his family, to see his grandkids raised, to be with his family, but he gave his life to save other fellow Americans. If the U.S. government only gave half as much, if they only cared a shred, our injustice would be over. We would end this national nightmare and this national tragedy. The evidence is now indisputable. Do something.
What is your message to the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, and do you believe there is more evidence that still needs to be unearthed in this case?
My message to Director Patel is do what you said you were going to do, Mr. Director. He campaigned for President Trump and the Trump administration. He campaigned for director of the head of the FBI, saying that day one, he's on a live podcast saying day one, all the 9/11 documents need to come out. And if he's confirmed, he was going to do that. He said there's going to be a lot of pissed off people, but do you know what? We've been pissed off before. We're pissed off right now. We're mature enough and responsible enough to go wherever that truth may go. So I'm calling upon Director Patel to honor his commitment to us. I'm calling on Director Patel to pressure Saudi Arabia and bring Omar al-Bayoumi back to the United States. In a few short weeks, President Trump is going to Saudi Arabia on his first foreign national trip. When you come back, Mr. President and Vice President Vance, bring this agent of terror back with you.
You know, I know you're looking forward in this case, but in this new report from CBS, a counterterrorism analyst at the CIA during the 9/11 terror attacks reportedly said this, that she was surprised they didn't learn about the video after the attacks when Omar al-Bayoumi was considered a suspect. That I think it's a matter of if they did lose the evidence or they had filed it away in a way that would have been seemed irrelevant. That I can see. What do you make of that analysis?
It was all by design. It's my opinion. Look, it's just my opinion. It's our community's opinion that this evidence was designed never to see the light of day. The 9/11 Commission did not have the benefit of the evidence that we're talking about. The 9/11 Commission, who was tasked by Congress to figure out how 9/11 happened, wasn't shown the full story. They weren't shown the casing of the U.S. Capitol. They weren't shown the welcome party video of the Saudi intelligence operatives there. They weren't shown the hand-sketched drawn plane and the algorithm. Is it a coincidence that everything they weren't shown related back to Saudi Arabia? So anytime you got close to Saudi Arabia or any evidence that led to Saudi Arabia, that was buried and never shown to the commission. The commission is null and void at this point. We need a new investigation. We need Bayoumi back here, and we need closure, and we need the truth.
All right, this is a story we're going to continue to follow, and we so appreciate your voice in all of this. Your father is a hero. Brett Eagleson, thank you.
Thank you.
And a live look now at the U.S.